That was so late. But whatever.
We'll figure it out.
Wait, that countdown's for me. What do you mean we'll figure it out?
You'll figure it out. We've set the bar so incredibly low.
You know what? I'm not even going to argue that anymore. It is definitely not the highest bar. For instance, I'm not sure if the listeners will be able, or viewers will be able to see this on BTSN, but there's still Halloween decorations in this shot. So, we're
happy Halloween.
Yeah, belated Halloween. We're out here doing the most. You know what I mean?
And I officially have the kid doing the Tupac impression whenever she says Halloween.
Wait, really?
I don't even think it's... Well, it's not actually... I don't think it's an actual Tupac impression, but she sounded like Tupac when she said... She was like... It's getting close to Halloween.
I love it. I love every second of it. I love it. That's amazing. That is amazing parenting, to say the least.
She's a natural.
Yo, man. How was your weekend? How was Halloween? Did you guys do anything? Did the youngling get to get out? Or did y'all say F it? We not even gonna try?
We chilled. Because we had this whole plan that we were gonna like do a trick or treating around the house. Like we would hide in, or close the doors in each room and have her come around and knock and say trick or treat, and then wifey and I would trade off and open the door and give her candy or whatever.
Right.
She didn't care. She had a big old bag of candy. That's all she wanted. She was good. And then and we walked up and down the street and there was nobody out. So it was pretty
funny.
mellow.
I did that as a kid. That walked to every door in the house when I was in LA off 110th to Hoover, and yeah, we couldn't. I wanted to go trick or treating really bad, and they were like, "Nope, not happening." So no, I was all of 7 or 8, and if I'm feeling, maybe not, but I want to. I'm going to timeline this, but I want to say that the whole Night Stalker scare was going around at the time, but I might be wrong about. I might be absolutely wrong about that. So I'm gonna, it's either my parents just total paranoia, like, no, you're not going to trick or treat over here.
Right.
Or there were other, factors. So, yeah.
You gotta look up. Do you remember how old you were when that?
I don't. I really don't. You know what I'm saying?
Because I just asked because I would imagine that. I don't think I was as young as my kid is now, but I remember being freaked out.
Oh yeah.
And like I can't even. It's like.
Yeah.
But I knew what was going. We knew what was going on. It was weird.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Richard Ramirez was a crazy situation. I mean,
he was super creepy looking too.
Yeah, he was.
So it's not like he wasn't like one of those where they catch him and he's like, oh, he's just like the guy, just a regular guy living next door. It's like, no, that dude is a creep.
Well, yeah, that's the wild part. But I mean, shout out to East Los Angeles though. They shut it down. Like they was like, nah, we're not having none of this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. So he hit the wrong spot on
Halloween.
For real. But yeah, not as creepy as we're not gonna get too much into it. We've been very, very political over the last 2 episodes. But the Trump supporters in Texas near San Antonio surrounding Biden's campaign bus. Neither Biden nor Kamala was on that bus, but they were trying to slow the bus down on the freeway and whatever, be intimidating, blah, 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 blah. Trump has cheered it on, Kev. Election season, is it what's crazier for you? What's spookier, election season or Halloween itself? Which one?
Oh, Halloween was by far the least scary day of 2020 so far.
Okay, so we've had a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? We've had a global pandemic, and you're telling me that Halloween, that November 3rd, is the scariest day this year.
Well, it could be. I don't know.
I'm with you. I'm just saying.
And actually, when this comes out, this episode, it will be election day.
It will be.
So happy election day.
So yeah, happy, yeah, early on our part, but yeah, because we probably won't get the results though until days later, actually, right? Considering how voting is being counted, who knows? But
I've literally, the only takeaway I have from listening to the news nonstop for the last, week is that nobody knows what they're talking about.
Well, you know what, man? This is, my wife is all in a tizzy about this. I'm all into these like old school 1940s sayings, by the way. I just want
tizzy?
Yeah. But I'm like, look, man, don't nobody know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Nobody know.
Mm-mm.
93 million people have voted, ballots have been cast or what have you, or counted already, or cast already, one or the other. And there's millions more. Last election, I think close to 3 million voted or something like that. So, yeah, don't nobody know. Yeah. So
by next week, maybe we'll know.
Yeah.
By the time we record next week, maybe we'll know what's going on.
Maybe we'll know. We know Dave Chappelle is hosting Saturday Night Live the weekend following the election.
That's right.
So
that's right.
That we do know. All right. Well, we got some riveting stuff coming up.
Did you say riveting?
Riveting. Yes. I'm all in, and I've completely bought in. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the music industry. So just get ready to have one lively, exciting episode.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin, you ready, man?
Riveting. I'm at the edge of my seat.
We are really selling this show. All right, y'all. We're going to catch y'all on the other side, man. Let's go.
Rap Sucks Radio. Blah, 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 blah.
What up, y'all? You alive on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Track Life and your fam, Kev Sakota.
I'm in a tizzy.
Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you want to catch past episodes of Rap Sucks Radio, it's as simple as going to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. We are right there. We've got, over 100 episodes to date. Please catch up. You know what I'm saying? On everything, cop everything we come out with. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not really copping, but check everything we got. And if you'd like to watch this, live on your television, you can catch it on BTSN. That's Behind the Scenes Network. What you do is you go to Roku, Fire Stick, or Fire TV. You download the app or channel, depending upon which one you're using. Once you download that, you click on it, and we are right there. We got our own section and everything, Rap Sucks Radio on BTSN, Behind the Scenes Network. So, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Let's jump right into this.
Yep.
So, Kev, over the last week, we talked about mixers. A couple weeks ago, we've talked about Twitch or whatever. So, this week, I actually have Twitch doing too much. Now, This is sort of going to be one of those things where I put Twitch doing too much, but I actually am kind of on the side of Twitch on this one.
I just realized that this is a little bit of a role reversal for you.
Yeah. Doing too much, but I'm fine with it, actually. Topic title to this is Middle Finger to the RIAA, says Twitch. I don't know if that's really a rap lyric or just decided. RIAA, by the way. And the reason why is the music industry has taken another step towards a legal fight with Twitch. Now, just to kind of preface this, all streaming platforms have had to go through this kind of licensing dispute with the record industry. At the end of the day, you're using songs that are owned by the record labels or owned by the artist, depending upon the situation, and you have to pay for it. Bottom line, that's the argument. Right. But in this case, sourced by Verge, it seems as though Twitch is just basically not responding to cease and desist letters, and any letter for that matter, from the RIAA and friends, and I think that is absolutely hilarious. Kev, before I dig into these notes, as our resident industry person, what are your thoughts so far?
It's interesting. I mean, it was only a matter of time, especially after COVID hit and people were streaming, DJ sets so much more frequently. But part of me thinks it's interesting more because, it's Jeff Bezos because Amazon owns Twitch, right?
Right. Yep.
I feel like, I feel like he could just, pull his wallet out of his pocket and drop enough money to take care of the RIAA.
Just leave it right alone. I feel like
you go ahead and keep that.
Right. That's why I think it's funny that they're not responding. Like this might be. He
doesn't have time.
It's like this might be the one time that the music industry is actually completely outclassed, unless they do join in with the film industry, which Amazon has already taken care of them. So the film industry has no desire or concern whatsoever to even get involved in this. Which, there's that. I think that's freaking hilarious. I think it's hilarious. Anyhow, listen, Amazon has received a blistering letter last Thursday about copyright infringement and Twitch's non-existing licensing deals with major music rights holders. The letter was signed by organizations including the Record Industry Association of America, the RIAA, and friends. I'm not going to read all of them. The document accuses Twitch of allowing streamers to play copyrighted music without getting the proper licensing to do so. They're basically saying that Twitch, in quotes, Twitch appears to do nothing in response to the thousands of notices of music infringement that it has received, nor does it currently even acknowledge that it received them. They straight ghosted. They ghosted. Did you get my text? Huh? But I text you right after. Like I text you. No, my phone is messed up. Anyhow,
I got the fire phone.
Yeah, right. I got for real. Sheesh. God, Amazon with the God. Anyhow, it doesn't even acknowledge that it receives them as it has done in the past. So at some point they were replying, but they're ghosting at this point. So here's where it gets interesting though. Twitch sent out a notice informing thousands of streamers that they had infringed copyright and that the platform was deleting the offending videos. The letter to Amazon appears to be the next step by the RIAA campaign to make a case that Twitch isn't abiding by terms of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which governs copyright online. That could open it up to be sued for copyright claims. There's a precedent set for this. Media companies sued YouTube between 2007 and 2009 on the same grounds, which led to a creation of content fingerprinting system that the company still uses to root out copyright infringement. So there's much more, but we can, that was basically enough reading for now. So Kev, I'm gonna kick this one off because I'm actually fascinated by this topic, and as an artist, I should be on the RIAA side, but I'm going to tell you why I'm not. So let me jump into this really quick. First of all, the digital rights deal, the digital deals that have been made between these companies, we went over these. We're talking 0.00425% payouts per play. It would be even less on Twitch because this is not like Spotify where somebody goes to your page and listens to your whole album or whatever. This is just people casually or in the case of DJs using your music in their streams. So for DJs it's pretty cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? I like song A, I play song A, mix it in with song B and C. All of them are owned by said publishing company and or record company, and somebody's owed some money somewhere. The problem with this, in my opinion, is that the record company's getting 70% of this. You know what I'm saying? So the artist is left like, I don't know, man. I kind of would rather you just play my music for advertising, unless it's gonna be something major. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I feel like if DJs, particularly listening to this stream, my Holiday in Law degree says, just delete your streams and don't save them on the site, which I don't really know why you would when you have Mixcloud and other platforms for that specific reason. I think Twitch is a little clunky for back listening to videos, but that's my starter opinion, Kev. Shoot.
Yeah. Well, one thing I don't know, do you know how many, what percentage of the content on Twitch is actually DJs?
Oh man, it's gotta be, it's not very much at this point. Not
it's tiny, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I assume that, Bezos is treating them like Homelander.
Well, I think part of their issue though is that I think this issue actually is not even really targeting DJs at this point.
Is it like gamers that are using music? Or?
Yeah, they have these gamers and these content creators, podcasters, vloggers, or whatever. And there's a soundtrack tool that is connecting music to some of these podcasts, and I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they're sort of saying like, yo, you're not even. But what I think, and this is what I think, please. This is why sometimes I like to say these things like not knowing the answer to it, because I would like for people to research it on their own a little bit. But I think that these are records based on what Twitch is saying in this article. It says that they actually have fully licensed agreements in place with the rights holders for the music featured in the product. So for the soundtrack tool, I think it's like direct licensing, you know what I'm saying? Which, if I'm correct on this, really is the part that's pissing off the RIAA. If you are a content creator or if you're a musician, a Bandcamp musician who's creating your own records, you're basically your own label, your own distribution at this point. And now you're doing these direct deals with this $1 billion company. I mean, Twitch being owned by a $1 billion company. Record labels is like, yo, wait a minute. What? I'm sorry, now? Where's our piece? It's like, well, you don't get a piece because you're not part of this. It's like, nah. If somebody's playing music, if somebody's playing the piccolo somewhere, we're the record industry. We need a piece of that. So,
I want in.
I want in entirely. So, this is one of those things where I think the freedom for, people who create music really is at risk here in this battle. You know what I'm saying? For those of us that choose to have record labels and people who sell our copyright or whatever, more power to us at this point. I'd rather you, as a person who has 4 records on record labels, on a record label, just play the song. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care if they get the 50 cents from the 900 times you play it. I'd rather you go to my Bandcamp and buy any of my other stuff, including buying the record directly from the label. So, yeah, man, I'm long-winded on it, like I said, because it's actually an interesting topic to me. But I do think that DJs who are worried about the DMCA that they're gonna get, like, you know what I mean? Just take your stream down or whatever and call it a day.
But make no mistake, Jeff Bezos doesn't care about you either.
He doesn't. That's true too. So, yeah. Yeah. Well,
he's got bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? He's got drones to build. Looking like a total weirdo to do. He's got a lot going on, Kev. But I'm interested though, Kev. I really am interested in your thoughts on how you see this kind of unfolding. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's the same. The argument that you made is a totally sensible argument that I think most artists feel like. First of all, most artists are relatively well-known artists are at a point where, or in a situation where, for the most part, if you're playing their music, you're helping. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're playing it, for 2 minutes in a DJ stream, it's the idea of it hurting you in any kind of way that you're going to feel it substantially is almost like you can't even quantify that, right? As an individual artist.
Right.
But the record industry operates on volume, right? So they have to protect their interests. They end up feeling like they got to protect their interests across the board, and also I think they get into a situation where they feel like if they let one company do this, then every other company, that sets a precedent for the other companies that they're also fighting with. So
sure.
They've set up this dynamic where, it's not like it's their fault necessarily, but they're in a situation where they're fighting with all these new technologies. But it's been that way since the internet, became mass market, and they're still around. So,
prior to that, right? Like once the ability to burn CDs became a thing,
right?
Copy cassettes.
Right.
Like there's a constant battle for the record industry to try to protect their intellectual property.
It's becoming more of what seems like a losing battle, though. But the idea of just giving up is probably not an option either. So
not at all. Not at all. I'm very curious though. When does the tide turn? That's my curiosity. Because I'm beginning to ask myself, I see these type of situations like, what's more valuable, like the actual music itself, or the administration of the rights for the music, or marketing for the music, or what's more valuable? When you find yourself as an artist making far less than a I don't know, a publicist, you know what I'm saying? Then you're like, okay, wait, hold on a second. What's more valuable here? Like, is the music itself? I'm not dissing publicists by any stretch of the imagination. Please do not, take it in any personal way. Publicists, you guys do, most of you do a wonderful job. Blase, blase, blah, everything to get back in your good graces from the original statement. However, you do start to wonder as an artist.
You're doing great.
Wait a minute, I'm the one that actually is creating here, right? Why are there so many other hands in the pot that make more money than I make off of what I create or what is created? Why are the artists not the capital money makers from the creation of art?
Yeah, and that's the constant tension that happens in any other art field, or in just about any other industry where there are creators and then distributors, you know what I mean? And that's why the fight exists, I think, because that tension has always existed in one way or another. So if your job is to promote and distribute the product, but you don't necessarily create the product and own it, as a label, you don't own it altogether, then your interest is in controlling as much of that distribution channel as possible. The problem is that now, like, there was a time, like when you were talking about just with CD burning or cassette bootlegs, where that was the channel. If you were going outside of the traditional selling vinyl or 8-tracks or whatever it was, maybe you were selling bootleg cassettes or then bootleg CDs. But that was still a physical good that you could, you were fighting on one battlefield and it was just one means of distribution, or two maybe, right? But it was a very finite thing that the labels could decide how much it was worth for them to fight that fight. Now, it's, digitally the stuff is everywhere. So yeah, how much is it worth to fight it? But then, what the labels found out is that if you don't fight it and you ignore it, or you act like it's not going to be around forever, or it's not going to hurt your business, you're going to get destroyed. So
yeah, well, I mean, that's where 360 deals are so common, because people have decided that the music has less value. I mean, I guess I say Apple, but I don't know if Apple was first, but Apple said that songs are worth 99 cents. And from that point on, we were like, all music is worth 99 cents. Your whole record's worth 99 cents. Matter of fact, you, rapper, are worth 99 cents at this point. Like, it just became a point where everything related to music or connected to music was near invaluable. Now, mind you, I'm speaking as a rapper, so, take everything I say with a bitter grain of salt. But yeah, I think the devaluing of music and the rise of merch, especially during COVID, like especially during this time, people are way more prone to buy a t-shirt or a hoodie. I know that concert times were big on this as well, but I'm talking like online purchases. People are finding it easier just to go to Printful, set up a situation to where you got your hoodies, you got your beanies, you got coffee mugs if you want. Everything is all set and prepared. So I like the idea of the high empowering of the artists themselves, and I think that we've seen artists create their own labels. I mean, as old as the Isley Brothers, of course, right? Prior to them, we can go back. More and more now, though, I'm using Bandcamp as an example. Just people are creating their own outlets. They have their own teams. They have their own marketing guy. They have their own management. They have everybody in the circle that can create and put out content. The fight for the labels is obvious. The fight is to make money off of when they were highly relevant and try its best to remain relevant in some form of relevant power through all of this. And, you know, the administration is important, so maybe, but I don't know. I still feel like maybe there might be a breakthrough where, you know, the artist owns, controls, and gets paid for what they do.
I think we're headed in that direction. I mean, to answer the question you first asked me, where is it headed, I think is how you put it, is that it's going to continue to go in the artist's favor in terms of control as long as the artists decide that they want that. That's why as much as Kanye drives me completely insane, especially over the last year,
ridiculous.
The idea of what he is trying to accomplish is not insane.
Not at all.
It's not. It's far from as easy as I think he believes it is. You know, because if it's not easy for him, being Kanye, it's certainly not going to be easy for a new artist who nobody knows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that goes back to a conversation that you and I had on this show about you know, the idea of a new artist feeling the pressure to sign that major record deal, right? To get that you know, to put that career trajectory on a rocket ship. That's the trade-off, you know, and it's always going to be there. And but to further answer your question, the music is all that is important.
Sure.
And the one thing that does bother me is when artists, because artists now, I hear more and more artists saying that, you know, and I understand why they say what you kind of said, but from a place of less experience, which is that their music isn't the product.
Right.
That the music is almost like a loss leader for tickets, or, you know, when we were able to do shows or merch or whatever, which I understand the logic in saying that, but it's, it misses the crucial element of why people are going to the shows. And it's the music is that integral part of all that other stuff that you know, if you want to go sell t-shirts, go do that. If you want to go sell tickets and get up on stage and just play music, you could do that, but you still need the music. And there needs to be a value to that goes above and beyond a physical, you know, good or a one-time experience or whatever. So, until artists really understand that, and then they're able to have the power to start their own labels and distribute their own stuff, it's going to be tough, man. Because even with the biggest artists out now, you know, they may be huge on the radio or all over the, you know, all over YouTube or Spotify or whatever, but then you hear stories that they're getting, you know, they signed a bad deal or they got money stolen from them
all day
as they were blowing up. You know?
Sure. I mean, I can only imagine just the administration of the trying to handle the money if you're selling yourself. I'm just saying by yourself, straight up, cash directly to you. I mean, I'm using Bandcamp as an example, like I said, and just imagine if you're selling 20,000 copies, full copies of albums on Bandcamp right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you are the accountant. Like, you got other musicians to pay. You got, you know, producers or whatever, unless you're just one of those people that totally does everything yourself. And if you're sampling, which is a whole other battle that, you know, I don't all the way want to get into because that's a whole other conversation, then you really got a whole battle on your hands. Again, the administration part of it becomes important. But I agree with you here. I think more people are taking control of their career, attempting to sell other things, their own podcasts, their own, you know, everything but the music is the funnel. The music is what gets all of this, you know, people to pay attention. Right. And if you're good at music, then that's the part. What drives me absolutely crazy, is I think of when I was coming up, musicians were being, rappers were being clowned for not being good businessmen. Like, really dope rappers were like, yeah, but he don't really know how to, you know, use QuickBooks. It's like, yo, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And then when a rapper was good at that type of stuff, then the argument was that he spends too much time on the business side of things and needs to focus more on the art. Like, so there's a balance. There's definitely a balance, and a team is very important. And a team might be a little more important than a record label at this point. And I'm not sure what major. I don't know where CD sales are or physical sales are at this point. Mellow Music once argued to me directly that, physical sales are still a serious thing, but I feel like that was 8 or 9 years ago that we had that. Well, it wasn't really an argument, but conversation. So I don't know. I don't know where physicals are. So I still don't really know the high value of a high distribution record label at this point. But, I don't know. I guess that part ends with I don't know. But in the midst of this, though, I do want to throw out two things that I did not put on the list. Kev, Busta Rhymes just dropped a new record, right?
Word.
Have you heard it yet?
The Mighty Infamous.
He went back to his, not all the way back, but went back to the first Extinction Level event, sort of the coming record style. You know what I'm saying? What I want to ask you though is, I don't know if you've heard it yet, but if you have, whether you have or haven't, it is 22 songs. Kev, is that too long of a record for this time period?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I think that's totally like let's do what you feel, as far as I'm concerned. I've thought about that. I don't know the answer. I'll bring up Kanye again. When he was doing those 7-song albums or whatever, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Get in, get out, for better or for worse. Some of them were better than others. But like the Pusha T record, I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect for me. And the other thing that's different now is that there was, we were, or at least I personally, for me, there was a thing about, fitting the album on a cassette, like a 60-minute cassette or a 90-minute cassette or whatever. There was that that idea of having a side A and a side B, right? Yep. And it would drive me crazy if the album was too long for the cassette or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Silly stuff, or too long for the CD. Yep. And then when we were doing singles and stuff like that, then you'd want to sort of make the most out of, like, if you were going to press up a 12 inches, sort of try to make the most out of the space that you could comfortably press up on a record without making it sound crazy, or putting too much. So I don't, none of that exists anymore. We're not buying, if you're streaming music, it's just, you're adding it to a playlist.
Right. And
for me, a lot of times I'm adding it to a playlist and then never listening to it.
Well,
Busta was one of the few that I was like, all right,
I started to, it was 22 songs. I didn't finish it, but here's my thing. So what we haven't lost, because I use, you use Kanye. I also use Black Thought as an example. The first two, records. This recent one I think was 10 or 13 songs. And I find myself skipping through it. Like, and I'm a big time Black Thought fan. Same with Elzai. Right. And so I'm here's the thing. Records are concepts in a sense, right? They're sort of themed. If they're not themed in an actual theme, like, surrounding theme of a record, they're generally themed in sound, just because of time period. You know what I'm saying? So, right. 22 songs is a lot. It's just a lot for a theme record at this time, in my opinion. But like you said, it's also, you don't have to consume it all in one moment. You can always listen to it in different time periods. But I like to actually get the entire concept of the record in one setting. I just, want to take the time out to play the record. I'm doing my work in the office or whatever, and I'm just like, all right, boom, I'm about to listen to this record. Or driving is
it's and it all depends on whatever the mood is. You know what I mean? How much time you have to actually invest in that. Like Black Thought is the first record. This the most recent one, because I feel like the first two were like EPs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first two were EPs, and they were monsters. This one is also a monster.
Right.
Those two were real monsters.
But I listened to it. This is the first thing that I've listened to more than once, hip hop wise. Yes. Well, Benny the Butcher as well, but this is the first one I listened to twice in a while, and it was actually by mistake. But then I was listening to it, I was like, oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah. I don't need to change that.
But I find myself listening more to like old, other genres of stuff.
Yeah. Which I find myself on the shuffle playlist quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? Picking a song and and discovering new music through. That's the one thing I will say about streaming platforms that I do love quite a bit is the ability to discover new music. And that's going back to Twitch. I don't want the RIAA to scare. Although the second point I was going to bring up, and then we can move on, it is, DJs, you also, at least the ones I'm catching up with, I love y'all. You guys are my friends. But you're also not playing new music and sort of the re-edits of old music a lot. It's like this is your chance. There's no dance floor you're going to clear. You can take that, you can play that song that you've always wanted to play that you couldn't play, or that artist that you maybe know from your block. Like, you could play the record now. You could literally play that album. Like, yo, my homeboy's son raps. I got a Twitch channel. I'm just going to play his record. You could do that now.
So you don't feel like people have made that switch?
Not that I've seen. Not enough for my taste. Not enough for my taste. And it might just be the age group that I'm in. They still want to hear kind of the same old R&B songs and the same old, that 2000 era, 112-ish, whatever. An era that was highly corny to me. So, that's also a thing for me. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that, go completely boom bap Sean P all day. I'm just saying you have the ability to switch it up and play different songs. You can challenge your listener now. They're right there.
Did you say twitch it up?
Switch it up. But twitch it up, New show. Twitch it up. Play new music. All right, let's twitch it up on this one. Yo.
Oh, God.
Next topic, Kevin. You put "Don't Rush Me Because I'm Close to the Hedge" is your topic title. Don't rush me because I'm close to the hedge. Anyway, I thought this was hilarious. Beyond hilarious.
It's really funny.
Grandmas keep accidentally tagging themselves as Grandmaster Flash on Facebook. This is a bit of old news, but this one is not it doesn't need to be time captured, so I didn't put it old news on it. It's sourced by The Independent. The players involved, the Grandmaster Flash, and of course grandparents. So, long story short, the internet correspondence. Well, reading from the article, the internet correspondence of the world's elders has always been a wonderful thing, filled with email subject headings like "message from your dad" and text messages kept about 12 characters, despite length limits no longer really being a thing. Shout out to my mom, who is the sweetest human being that I've ever met in my life, who sends me the most succinct and sometimes rude responses because they are so short, because she does not feel like typing on this phone thing sometimes. So shout out to my mom for that. Anyhow, it is grandparents' foray into Facebook that has been the most adorable. However, with comments left in the wrong places, superfluous sign-offs, and plenty of all caps. The last error arises from Facebook's auto-suggest tagging feature, which is causing anyone who starts writing grandma to be presented with a link to pioneering hip-hop DJ Grandmaster Flash. Kev, just a couple of quick ones for you. One grandmother writes, "Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Timothy. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? Love, Grandmaster Flash." Another one. "My grandson Jax is turning the big 3 today. I would like to wish him a big happy birthday. Love you, Grandmaster Flash." These are almost coming off like they're praising Grandmaster Flash. Kev, what?
Yeah.
What's up, man? What are your thoughts on this?
This is a solid story. A good story.
I love it.
What's the best response to one of these messages?
What's up?
What's the best response to one of these messages?
Well, the one where...
What would you write? What would you write back?
Oh, well, I mean, you know what? I don't know. Damn, I'm on the spot on this one. I'd probably just correct my mom. God, dude, I'm so whack. I'd probably just be like, "Yo, mom, Like, we live in front of everybody. Can you switch out Grandmaster Flash? I don't know. Maybe a good don't push me response.
No, it's too inside.
All right, what's yours?
What the duck is wrong with you, Grandma?
Oh my God.
You don't see Grandmaster Flash whining about his royalties. See?
Oh,
That's hip hop.
Here we go.
That's hip hop, man.
The best overall response, or not response, but tweet, or I'm sorry, Facebook post concerning this is a Kathleen Thomas who tagged Grandmaster Flash and said, "I didn't mean to hit the Grandmaster Flash, whatever that is."
Oh, man.
Grandmaster Flash says, "It's true I get a lot of posts from grandmas. Hilarious now I know why. Respect grandma and grandpa. P.S. This is hip hop." It's not though, but yeah. I feel like KRS typed that last line. It's not hip hop. It's just grandma's messing up. Like, let's not do this. We can't do this with everything, guys.
Oh.
All right. I feel like we can do this last one real quick, man.
Yeah, I don't know how much there's to be said about this, other than making sure everybody is aware that this happened,
right?
Which is important.
And before we jump into this one, and on the way out, it'll be the day, so you'll hear this in the morning of November 3rd, which means you still have a chance to vote, right? So please, if you have not voted to this point, please go out and vote. That's
Yep.
I'm not gonna say anything more than that. Just
pack a lunch.
You know what I'm saying? Do it. Go out. Let your voice be heard. I'm not telling you who to vote for or what to vote for or any of that. Just, if you want to have a say-so in how things work, this is one of the ways you can do it in the simplest way possible. So there's that.
Vote for Ja Rule.
Mickey Mouse. Somebody puts Mickey Mouse on ballot every year. So I'm gonna hit him with the old news. Yeah, I don't need to.
You sure?
Countdown for that. Yeah, I guess I'll just do that now, right? Old news. I had 0 lines for this. I have nothing clever to say.
I got nothing.
My whole topic was like, wait, what? What just happened? All right, you guys ready for this? Okay. Men hired to tie up and tickle client, break into wrong house. Oh my God, yo.
Clearly that didn't happen in America.
It didn't. Yeah, they weren't shot. So, this is had this source. I didn't write the source down correctly. Wow, boing.net is where this is sourced from. So,
of course it was.
So the validity of this is in question. However, the players involved are unnamed. Just 2 men that went in to tie up and tickle somebody. Another grown man. All right, Kev. I feel like I talked this whole episode, guys. So if you guys want to hear more of Kev, please press 2. I don't know, do something. Put a 1 in the chat because this was an almost all Trek episode. Like, I don't know what to say.
That's good. We needed this. It's almost like I didn't turn the mic on.
Right, is your camera on at this point? We should do a camera check. Kev, is your camera still on?
Technically, yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right.
Is it recording? Who knows?
All right. 2 men hired to break into their client's house, menace him with machetes, tie him up, then tickle him with a broom, which doesn't seem like that would tickle very much, have been acquitted of armed break-in after hitting the wrong address. The unsuspecting victim awoke to find the men looming over his bed, armed with knives. The roleplay was arranged over Facebook by Grandmaster Flash. No, I'm serious. By a man near Griffith, New South Wales, who provided his address to the hired pair. In quotes, he was willing to pay, $5,000 or what have you, if it was really good, the judge said. However, the client moved to another address 30 miles away without updating the two men. They then entered a home on the street of the original address where they realized their error. When they realized their error, one of the pair said, "Sorry, mate," and shook the resident's hands, according to local reports. My bad.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
I ran up in your house and woke you up with machetes, tied you up, started tickling you with a broom. And didn't mean to do that. We're gonna go home now.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice vase, by the way.
Elmo's gotten kinky. It just keeps escalating.
Oh boy, is that the new PS5? Wow, you have a nice home. Anyway, sorry. I'm just trying to think of the awkward conversation on the way out. Like, yo, my bad. Those are pictures of your grandkids, right? Well, yeah, I think I went to school with that guy.
Do you need a broom?
Oh my God, that had to be the worst. So here's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming these guys actually did their job a lot better than they're giving credit for here. And here's why. I guess the aim was to wait enough time for the man to forget that he even requested this. Right? Which technically worked because the dude moved and didn't even tell them that he moved. So he must have forgotten that he had hired them. Which means that he would have been paying $5,000. Like, it would have been good enough for them to scare him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give them credit here, Kev. It's all, I don't know what to say.
Well, they're professionals.
Professional ticklers.
And the funny thing is that there was a sliding scale, evidently, to the fee. He said he was willing to pay $5,000 if it was really good. According to the judge.
Oh boy, man. This world, I love it. I love it.
It's good.
Oh my God, how did we get here? All right. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. I am your homeboy Trek Life, and that is your fam, Kev Sakota.
Yep.
Again, thank y'all for tuning in. You can catch any of our past episodes by going to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. We are right there. We are live, over 100 episodes. You can catch up on all of them. All of them are great, if I do say so myself. So, yeah, do that. Or you can catch
every single one.
Every single one. You can catch us on BTSN. That's Behind the Scenes Network. If you have a Roku, Fire Stick, or Fire TV, you download the app or channel. Click on that app or channel, and we are right there. We have our own section, Rap Sucks Radio. Of course, that would be watching us on TV. Therefore, I'm going to get on this TV, mama. All right. I'm assuming there's a reaction.
If he loses, can we retire that?
All right. That's fine. Wait, if Kanye loses?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not. No, wait a minute. Hold on. What kind of sham bet are you trying to put on over here?
Well, I'm a little emotional, and I'm feeling a little left out since I was not invited to the birthday party.
You expect it to be?
Well, yeah. A little bit.
Okay. Okay.
Of the two of us, I'm the only one who doesn't talk trash about her.
Again.
Treat her like an angel.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. So thank you guys for tuning in. And on the count of 3, we say peace. 1, 2, 3. Peace.
Peace.
We out, y'all.